Hi, it's Malcolm from Aquaspray. If you notice any oil coming from the bottom of your machine, it's probably an oil leak. I'm going to show you in this video series on how to determine where it's coming from and how to fix it. This is the first video in the series, and before you start stripping anything down, you just need to find out exactly where that oil leak is coming from. So if you've noticed oil, but you don't know exactly where it's coming from, what you need to do is make sure that you clean it. Get some a rag or tissues and make sure you clean as much as you can underneath and everywhere, all around the fins, anywhere where you see oil. Clean it down. Make sure that you've topped the oil up. So make sure that the oil is in the sight glass and there's plenty of oil in it, and then run the machine with a nice clean piece of tissue over it, and then you'll find out exactly where the drips would be from. So there's only a few different places of where it can come from. Is this red cap. It's very rare that it would come from there unless you've got a hole drilled in it or the machine's been lay on its side. You have the expansion chamber cover. There's a seal behind here. Again, you shouldn't really get oil coming out of here. It's not impossible, but that usually means you've overfilled it with oil. It's possible that the oil sight glass could be cracked or the O-ring that's missing, and it could also be the O-ring on the sump plug underneath. The main, I turn it all the way over, you've got three little holes here underneath the pump. It can drip oil from any one of these three holes. There's also this aluminium plate here that's attached to this part of the oil housing. It can be dripping from here, or worst case scenario, it could be dripping from this hole here, which this one is. I am going to change all the seals in this in a different video, but for now just make sure you know exactly where it's coming from. If it's from this housing, the three little holes, or between the housing plate, you will need an oil seal kit, which consists of the three oil seals for the pistons and one O-ring for the back end of this plate. If you find out it's coming from the oil sight glass, it might be just easy to change the complete sight glass in case it's warped or misshapen, but you can buy the O-ring for it. The same with the sump plug. If it's coming from there, it's just going to be an O-ring. If, like this one, it's coming from this hole here, that means the main motor shaft seal is gone. That is a complete strip down job. The whole motor needs coming apart, the pump needs coming apart to change it. Now you've determined exactly where your oil leak is coming from, we can start then stripping it down. The next videos in this series will be literally that. Everything from draining the oil to replacing these oil seals. If you continue using the machine with an oil leak, you must make sure that that oil is at the correct level all the time you're using it. If it drains out, you will cause damage and you will have an expensive repair. At the minute, if it's just replacing every oil seal on there, it's going to cost about 20 quid. If you run it out of oil, it can cost hundreds.